I'm happy to welcome you to another educative and interesting hour on your favorite platform, Literature Hub 247, the gateway to understanding literature in English. I am Folahan Oyilekon. This video is about a non-African poem titled Digging. Digging is composed by Seamus Heaney, and this poem is in the WAEC 2026 to 2030 syllabus. I've already presented a detailed review of this poem on this platform, so you can request for the link to that video so that you can understand what we are going to do in this video. In fact, you need to watch that video, or you need to have gone through the full analysis of Digging by Seamus Heaney before you watch this video. So you are free to request for the link to that video, and I will send it to you. So this particular video is about a Waec-style question on the poem, that is a Waec-likely question on digging. You understand that there's no past questions yet on this new syllabus, that is 2026 to 2030 syllabus. So this question stands as a likely Waec question on the poem Digging. Let's go to the classroom. Now, this is the question. How does digging present the contrast between physical labor and intellectual labor? How does digging present the contrast between physical labor and intellectual labor? Please, I will implore us to watch this video to the end, because I want to introduce one of my ebooks to you. The ebook contains 200 Waec-style questions and the model answers, and I will tell you how you can download it. Now let's go on. The question again: how does digging present the contrast between physical labor and intellectual labor? Let's first analyze the question. Now, if you look at the question very well, you see that there is a literary device mentioned in the poem. So the first thing we are going to do is to explain the meaning of the literary device. After this, we relate the question to a relevant theme. We now go ahead and answer the question. In literature, contrast is the technique of placing two or more opposing ideas, images, or situations side by side to highlight their differences. It helps to create emphasis, deepen meaning, and make certain qualities stand out more clearly. So that is the meaning of contrast when it comes to literature. A key theme in digging is the difference between generations in terms of occupation, while affirming the worth of both forms of labor. The poem celebrates the skilled manual work of the poet forebears, while affirming the dignity of intellectual and creative work in his own life, that is, the work of his forefathers and his own. In digging, Seamus Heaney uses contrast to set apart the physical labor of his father and grandfather from his own intellectual labor as a poet. He describes his father stooping in rhythm through potato drills, quote unquote, and his grandfather cutting tough, nicking and slicing neatly having swords, quote unquote. Images that capture the strenuous physical nature of their work. These scenes appeal to the senses and evoke admiration for their skill and endurance. You know, if you have gone through the analysis of the poem, you understand that his father and forefathers are predominantly farmers, while he is a writer. In that poem, we are made to understand that his father worked on the land with their spade to dig out something substantial, while he also dig into his brain to bring out something that's substantial for the people's benefit. In contrast, Heaney presents his own occupation. His pen rests snug as a gun in his hand, and he resolves, "I will dig with it." Here, the act of writing replaces the act of digging, and mental effort replaces physical exertion. The two of them are digging. While the poet is making use of his pen, his father and forefathers are making use of their spade to dig to the ground. The poet's digging is metaphorically unearthing meaning and memory through words rather than soil. That is, he is digging through words, while his father and forefathers are digging through soil. This contrast emphasizes the generational shift from manual farming to intellectual creation. Let's look at that one once again. This contrast emphasizes the generational shift from manual farming to intellectual creation. That is, he has departed from his father's farming to his own writing. Yet, Heaney treats both forms of work with equal respect, linking them through the metaphor of digging. That is, the two of them, his father and the forefathers, are digging likewise himself, to show that skill, precision, and dedication unite them. The contrast therefore enriches the theme that work, whether physical or intellectual, carries dignity when done with mastery and purpose. So we have done justice to that educative and interesting poem. Now, the book I was making reference to the other time is titled Exam Ready. Exam Ready contains 200 WAEC standard questions with the model answers, and it is based on the 2026 to 2020 WAEC literature syllabus. And in compiling this question in the model answers, the WAEC guidelines and marking scheme are strictly followed. And let me tell you something about this book. You are not only going to be taught how to answer WAEC questions, but it will deepen your knowledge of the various texts and the poems in the WAEC 2026 to 2030 syllabus. So I'm going to leave the link in the description of this video so that you can download the book there. Just check the description of this video. You see the link to download the ebook there. So if you're new on this platform, please try and click on the subscribe and the bell icon so that you'll be part of this class. And whenever any video is produced, you are going to be notified. Like this video. You are free to share any of my videos on any social media platform. Invite your colleagues to join us. If you have any question or comment, you can also request for any video on any of the recommended texts and poems in the WAEC 2026 to 2030 syllabus, and the link will be sent to you. Let's meet in the next class. Thank you and God bless.